I bought security cameras to catch a thief in my apartment building. Instead, I discovered why my elderly neighbor's door is always open at 3 a.m. I installed a $300 security system after 3 packages disappeared from my apartment door, living alone in the city as a woman in her 20s. You develop a certain level of paranoia that men just don't understand. The cameras caught nothing for 2 weeks. Then I noticed something strange on the night footage. Mrs. Chen from 4B would open her door at exactly 3:12 a.m. every night, peek out, then leave it cracked open until sunrise. Mrs. Chen was in her 80s, barely 5 feet tall, with thinning white hair always perfectly pinned. During the day, she'd smile politely in the elevator but rarely spoke. I'd always assumed the language barrier was why our interactions never went beyond nodding. At first, I thought she might have dementia. My grandmother had wandered out of her nursing home twice before they installed door alarms. But Mrs. Chen seemed perfectly oriented during daylight hours, always carrying her shopping bags and mail without confusion. Last Wednesday, my footage finally caught something, minus a shadowy figure slipping into Mrs. Chen's apartment at 3:17 a.m. I immediately called 911, heart racing, certain I was witnessing a break-in. Police arrived within minutes. I directed them to 4B, showing them my phone footage. When they knocked, Mrs. Chen answered in her floral nightgown, completely calm. Behind her stood a teenage boy, maybe 16, thin and exhausted looking, clutching a backpack. The officers separated them for questioning. Mrs. Chen, now speaking perfect English, explained everything while I translated the officers' questions for the boy, who only spoke Mandarin. He'd arrived in America 3 months ago with his father, who had promised him education and opportunity. Instead, his father had sold him to a restaurant owner to pay off gambling debts. RP worked 18-hour days washing dishes, sleeping on a mat in the storage room, never paid a cent. He'd escaped 2 months ago and had been living on the streets stealing food to survive. One night, desperate for shelter during a thunderstorm, he'd hidden in our building's stairwell. Mrs. Chen had found him there, shivering and hungry. Instead of calling police, she made a different choice. I came to this country at 17 with nothing, she told the officers. A family let me sleep on their fire escape and left bread by their window. I survived because of strangers' kindness. Every night at 3:12 a.m., she would leave her door open for exactly 4 hours. Rixby could shower, eat a home-cooked meal, and sleep on a real bed. He'd leave before dawn to avoid other residents. She'd been teaching him English and helping him contact immigration services. The police made some calls. By morning's Belief was placed with a temporary guardian while his case was processed. To doubt he qualified for a special visa for trafficking victims. 2 days later, I found Mrs. Chen waiting by my door with a small potted orchid. Thank you for calling police, she said. I was afraid to, with his untanka status. But I was more afraid of what would happen if he remained invisible. She paused. Sometimes safety isn't about locks and cameras. Sometimes it's about being seen. I took down my cameras that weekend, ends leaving fresh fruit by Mrs. Chen's door instead. Last month, Lithis moved into a youth home but visits her every Sunday for dinner. My packages still disappear occasionally. But now I just order extras. Some things are worth the loss when you understand the greater need behind them.